Right, yes. Fuel and supplies, where are we going? So we have terror to alleviate, but we have ways to do it. We could go to Magdalene's, we could go and see that wonder, we could just go to the circus or to Port Haven, that's perfectly fine. So we should think about our goals. We want to go to the nature reserve. We want to... Well, we have orders in Magdalene's and in Prosper. So that could be quite a nice run. The way in which we do it, the ordering does not matter too much. We also have to scout this, find the regent's graves, try that event again. I think that's all we have to do here, really. The most significant thing, well, at least the one that could give us some more things to do as a quest, is the nature reserve. So I guess we'll do that first. Do we go there right away? Why is our terror so low? Wasn't it super high? Super high. Like 30 or so? Recent news, propaganda at Carillon. Wolfsey Station is abuzz with rumors of bad business at Carillon. Badder business than usual, that is. Yeah. They keep giving me money for free, just for taking some nectar and carrying for the grocery shop to the presiding devil-less old people care house. Allegedly, devils have been proselytizing against the tacities of the guests, against the tacities to the guests, some of whom are very influential indeed. The Windward Company have issued a carefully worded denial of any collusion. The indurate veteran has put out a request for information. She refuses to go near the place herself, so we can investigate it ourselves. You learned several profitable bits of information. The staff of Carillon are apparently colluding with the Windward Company. You learn nothing further without going to Carillon. Okay. What do we need here? A momentous exploit. Let's speak to the guy and see if we can progress that while we are here. The first canto is a quiet success, quickly forgotten. That's not good enough. The publisher's office, which you suspect is also his house, is even more dilapidated than when you first visited. The doorknob comes off in your hand. If you want to make the second canto an extraordinary success, write about something extraordinary, says the publisher, jabbing his cigarette into his desk for emphasis. Something that no one will be able to ignore. You must complete a momentous exploit. How do I do that? The publisher leans back amid a halo of smoke. Imagine I'm the average man on the street, by which I mean a Philistine of the lowest order. What have you done lately to capture my attention? We have discovered the fate of the Parsifal. That's pretty great. He wrote Tacitus Savior. What? That sounds like a bunch of spoilers. I have discovered the fate of the Parsifal. The publisher is silent for a long time. Once you've finished telling your tale, he blinks a few times. Even his cigarette has extinguished. Stunning, he says finally. Make sure you write it exactly like that. Let's write it then. The second canto of the Song of the Sky. You've accomplished something so remarkable, so singular, it can't be perfectly translated into words. But you'll try. You sit at your desk, you stand, you pace, you sit again. You stare from the window. Where to begin? You remember the look in the publisher's vaguely reptilian eyes when you first told him this story? A mix of disbelief, awe, and half-concealed greed. He'd been a kinder audience than the blank page. You begin to type, remembering how you worded your story in that first telling. Soon the typewriter is clacking and ringing merrily. The story stirs in your mind like some disturbed undersea monster, unspooling its tendrils before rushing leviathan-like to the surface. A pause in your fevered typing. Before you write any further, you must make a decision. There are many ways to tell a tale. Are you writing dry journalism with a hint of dark humor? A page-turner with bounding, scintillating prose? Or yearning verse tinged with melancholy? Disaffected cynicism peppered with a wit so dry it could be used to preserve meat. Words that bite even as they entice reader to chase after the next. Or poetry verse with the thundering rhythm of a train. I do not think the sociopath that we are is able to write poetry. Or perhaps it would be very weird poetry that would not get recognized for a century or so. Prose entice the reader to chase after the next, or journalism I guess that fits our character pretty well. Disaffected cynicism. Yeah, that fits us extremely well. Okay, yeah. There will be times where the aloof tone falls apart under the weight of horror or melancholy. Those moments will be all the more surprising, like broken glass hidden in a blank mage. A blank mage. I'm gonna research that word. Type of pudding. The words definitely look French, but blanc mange. There's blanc manger in French, apparently. I've never heard of that word even in French. Blanc manger. Jelly pudding. Wow. Okay, anyway, the metaphor, does it fit here? Like broken glass hidden in a blank. Okay, yeah, that's quite fitting. Not too pleasant, but fitting. Words spit like lightning from your fingertips. The typewriter shudders and clanks in protest under the strain. You write in a kind of fury, your mind's eye raging with images of gloating stars and endless burning emptiness, and then you sit back, exhausted, as you realize you've run out of words. The second canto is complete. When you take the second canto to the omnivorous publisher, he flashes a goblin-like grin. "We're going to set this city on fire," he declares with convincing menace. "We will publish it." The printing press wheezes into life. Paper churns. The next day, copies of the first and second cantos are being ruthlessly hawked by bookstores and enterprising penny vendors across the city. The extraordinary tale of a local sky captain who discovered the lost Parsifal, declares one salesman, waving copies of your pamphlet in the air like a holy text. "A voyage beyond imagining," shouts another with relish. "Those who read the Song of the Sky shall not leave unscathed." The second canto is quickly the subject of fevered gossip and speculation. Could it all be true? The newspapers dig to review it and throw around words like astonishing to describe both your exploits and your prose. The Song of the Sky looms in your mind, an unfinished monument. Write the third canto of the Song of the Sky. Takes us 3 savage secrets and 3 visions of the heaven. The second canto caught the public's eye. The third must somehow live up to its predecessor. No contemplation, no procrastination, no hours of prolonged hesitation. Not this time. Your story catches you like a fever, like the one I'm suffering from right now. And your fingers whirl so fast you threaten to tangle your typewriter's key. A pause in your fevered typing. Before you write any further, you must make a decision. Are you depicting your actions as purely heroic, or are you going to be what? I do not understand that word. That word there that starts with a with an H, I think it's heroic, because beauty is truth after all, and truths that aren't beautiful can be safely dismissed as oxymorons. What's the point of this exercise if not to cast yourself in the most favorable of lights? Anything you may have done to make a reader blanch, well, you'll change these circumstances, or perhaps invent a villain to make your actions look entirely reasonable. Sounds like a shit book, to be honest. You stare at the half-empty page in panic. For a moment you fear you've lost your terrible momentum, but then the story catches you in its arms again, and you are a golem, a conduit, a ghost desperate to relay its final message. You write until your fingers are blistered, until the ending catches you by surprise. You recline, sweat-drenched. The third canto is complete. When you take the third canto to the omnivorous publisher, he scans it with an empty grin before handing it to one of his assistants. How long has he had assistants? Another masterpiece, he says. You never cease to amaze. He's not read it. I'm a cash cow to him. We will publish it anyway. Despite how shitty the MOOC may be, the omnivorous publisher's assistants flit around the printing press like tiny fish around the jaws of a shark. He sits back and pours himself a whiskey. Social ascension. The excited speculation around the second canto had only just begun to die down, and now vendors selling the third canto find themselves mobbed by small, eager crowds whose zeal has been reawakened. Over the next few days you spot citizens of all stripes reading your pamphlet, from a vagrant under a bridge to a monocled aristocrat. A journalist interviews you, and any suspicion of his hostility evaporates when he starts stammering his admiration of your work. All the newspapers heap praise. For weeks you're the toast of New Winchester's coffee shops, and bookstores, and other bastions of culture. We need to speak to the guy again. The publisher leans back amid a halo of smoke. Imagine I'm the average man we've read that. So we need another momentous thing, yeah. So we need to accomplish something, and we are not going to spoil ourselves. Okay. Well, that's progress. Nothing new about the box. Oh. We could totally just pick the lock. Right, so it's been some time, so let's maybe recap there. That's the box that Captain Whitlock, the previous owner of our locomotive, the Orphean, let us with. And she asked us to deliver it to London, I think, telling us not to try to look inside. We are a massive liar, sociopath, and scammer. So that would make sense, but we do have a sense of self-preservation. So I'm not sure I'll just open it like that. I won't sell it, it's too interesting to sell. Let's consult with an academic. He comes recommended by several acquaintances. He will give you his rarefied opinion if you have an unusual trophy for your journeys, to share with him. Sure. Let's do that. The academic is wild-haired and scatterbrained, but his expertise is undeniable. He provides a wild hypothesis. We know that judgments, the suns, made the laws that govern all things. Those laws are enforced most vigorously wherever their light can reach, but a container like this might thwart their sight. If I wanted to exclude something from certain laws of the heavens, I would hide it in a box like this. Huh. Can we do it again? Is that gonna be new text? No, it's just the same. I just wasted an uncanny specimen there. Okay. We've done the other options just to get information about the box. I really want to know what's inside. But the consequences would be terrible, right? Let's not do that for now. Is there anything else here? Did we check the bazaar? Yes, we did. Right. What do we do? I defined going to the nature reserve as my first priority of order. Our terror has gone down, so we don't need to hit Magdalene's right away. So I guess we'll just do that. Go to the nature reserve, then perhaps to Port Prosper and Magdalene's, because we have orders there. Orders which are 3 nectar and 3 souls. Let's hit the bank. Don't need that, don't need that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're good to go. Nature Reserve, into Port Prosper, into Magdalene's, and back to New Winchester. Right, we have interacted with that. I don't think there was much more for us to do there. I don't remember actually. We could interact with that if we bring ammunition. Right. But we don't have too much space in our hold. I would like, if I do go there, to bring a lot of ammunition to blast the whatever is under the ice from the ice. Could be quite risky. But anyway, I'm not gonna have space in my hold if I want to do both of these orders, which I do want to do. So let's do that. When we'll have done that, we'll have accumulated cheese buttons. Quite a lot of money. We are close to 4k right now. But I think I'm not gonna spend it in New Winchester. I think I will carry on doing whatever I can do in the Reach, food scouting, and then just go to Albion in the hopes that we can buy a better locomotive in Albion. Hey, fungal stuff. Give us your tale of terror. Oh no, that's a success. That's a vision of the heavens. Okay, sure. Because we need 3 tales of terror to talk with the signaler that we found last time. Don't remember when exactly, actually. What else do we need for our officers? We need to bring a lot of them to London or Durance. We need dried tea for the repentant devil. We've been stuck on that for, well, pretty much since the beginning of the playthrough. And I think that's all.